What is up, guys? My name is Ricky, and today we're going to be taking a little break from first-person shooters to talk about Kerbal Space Program. Now, this game just dropped on PS4, and it will be releasing for Xbox in a couple days. This game is in no way brand new. It's been a PC game for a very long time. In fact, I've sunk several hundred, if not thousands of hours into this game on PC. Now, when I heard that it was going to be launched for consoles, I got really excited. I knew that the players on console were going to really enjoy this game too, but I was worried about the control scheme. Now, on PC, there are 26 buttons just for the letters alone. That's not counting number buttons, that's not counting shift, tab, control, command, none of those buttons. On PS4 in particular, we have 12 or 14 buttons if you want to count the analog sticks. So inherently, the control scheme on this game is a little wonky, and if you're really into space, I really recommend gritting your teeth and just learning it. This game is so much fun, and without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump in and show you what Kerbal Space Program is all about.
So first things first, we need a crew module. And I'd like to click on this, please. Talk about wonky controls. There we go. I think I double clicked it. Let's zoom in on here so you can see that. This particular module only fits one Kerbal. I'm going to grab that bad boy. That looks so dumb. Actually, now that I'm remembering this, that first stage is not enough to get us into space. Oh, jeez. Ah, come on. Why? Work with me, dice. There we go. Still crooked. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. All right. Snap, please. There we go. Ah! There we go. All right. So now we need some struts to keep this stage from falling off of the other stage due to aerodynamic pressures. Now this is hard to do in PC, so let's see what happens. Oh god. I can't pick it back up. Dice, please. Let's make a new one. There we go. I don't care if it's ugly. It's way too hard to do it correctly. There we go. Now that stage will not fall off of that stage, the other stage, until I tell it to. And one more thing we need. I don't care how ugly this is. I normally put these at the bottom, but I just need this to work. Now, I will be using the Reliant engines to get me there. Come on. Work. There we go. That's starting to look like a rocket, isn't it? These bad boys. That doesn't matter. They're crooked. OCD Ricky is getting really upset, but that's the best you're gonna get. That... Oh, no, we need to work on our staging. And then that, and then that, and then that. Yeah, alright, that seems right. So let's save this. I don't know if I saved it. I clicked it. There's no confirmation that it got saved, and judging by how difficult all the other buttons are to use, I'm not entirely sure if it got saved. Alright, let's go ahead and launch this. God save the Queen, because I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. Alright, this is so easy on PC. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna enable SAS. And what SAS is our autopilot. Because Jebediah Kerman is a pilot, not a scientist or an engineer, he's gonna be doing a lot of the flying for me. I'm just gonna be giving him suggestions. You can go ahead and turn SAS off and you'll be doing all the flying, which is not hard to do really, but just because we don't know the controls very well, I'm gonna keep it on. I keep it on PC anyways. I'm not gonna, jerk your chain. I'm not the best at this game. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna launch, and we're gonna launch at full throttle. So we will be leaning to the right, which is east, which is that direction, and then we'll keep going into space. I'm not gonna talk that much because this part is pretty stressful for me. I'm gonna go ahead and start tilting to the right, starting what's called a gravity turn. Now this is so easy with a keyboard, but with a joystick, I am fighting not to go left or right, or up or down really. I just want to use yaw and not pitch. Normally I have more, is that what I need? Yeah, normally I have more tilt by now. I'm gonna go ahead and pull down my throttle right now. Still accelerating. Don't want to accelerate too fast. I would really like to be tilted a lot more by now. Now that stage is done. I'm jettisoning it. And I'd like to be at 45 degrees already. Now I don't remember how to pull up the map. Oh god. I need to see my apoapsis. I'd like to get it above 70 kilometers. It's at 49. Actually, I can fly from here. 49, 50. I'm gonna go back up to max because I am through the surface or the atmosphere at this point. So just getting my apoapsis up to above 70. Now it's above 70, so now I am definitely going to space. Now at this point, I just want to stay in space, so I have a little bit more to do. I'm going to get this up to 100 before I cancel my thrust. And that's good enough. So now, let's see, 99 point, all right, so that's pretty damn good. But yeah, look, here we are. We're in space officially. Now we want to stay in space. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and position myself on my prograde vector. Though my prograde vector is going to be closer to horizontal when I want to start. Now, normally I would be putting what's called a maneuver node up. So I would know exactly when to do my thrust and how much to thrust and just waste as little fuel as possible. But for the purpose of this video, since I also don't know how to make a maneuver node yet, I am going to just eyeball it. So we're getting close to our apoapsis, which is the top of our suborbital flight. When we get really, really close, I'm going to go ahead and go max power, going toward our prograde vector, which is going to lift our periapsis above the atmosphere, which is where I want it. All right, so here we go. Max thrust. All right, the camera's tilting, meaning we're getting close to orbit. Oh, we are in orbit. Oh my God! Stop! Whoo! I don't know how to turn off my throttle. All right, so we overshot a little bit. We don't have the most beautiful orbit. It is not circularized. Our periapsis is now 99,000 kilometers, and our apoapsis is 125,000 kilometers, which normally, oh whoa, it's way more. It's 300. 25,000 kilometers, which is not the most gorgeous orbit, but it's an orbit nonetheless. We're in space, and we're going to stay there until we don't want to. Oh, look, the 6-axis. I'm just moving my controller. I'm not moving my sticks at all, and it's moving that. That's so dumb. I don't know how to turn that off. But, so now we're in orbit. Let's get out of this ugly mode. I don't know how to, but I can press this. Come on. We get to enjoy how beautiful this planet is. Kerbin, inhabited by Kerbals. Alright, so now that we're in space, it's time to start thinking about how we're gonna get home. And the first thing I'm gonna do is, this stage is pretty much spent. I actually didn't need that much fuel, but you know, it was my first time, so I didn't want to risk it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jettison that stage. Oh, gotta be in this mode. Bye-bye. So now we're in a much smaller spacecraft. Now what we're going to do is, when I deem it time, we are going to thrust retrograde, which is backwards from our orbit. And what that's going to do is lower the other side of our orbit into the atmosphere. We don't have to go all the way touch the ground. We just have to touch the atmosphere. The atmosphere will slow us down the rest of the way. And then when we're slow enough to deploy our parachute, we will do so. All right, time accelerate. No, that's not what I want. I want this one. There we go. Nope. Whatever. We're accelerating. I don't think that's the right kind of accelerator. I think I'm doing physical acceleration. When we're in space, we don't really need physical acceleration. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense that doesn't matter. I'd like to... not... whatever. I'm gonna cut this part out. Normally we'd be time accelerating a lot faster, and you guys wouldn't have to see it. Or you guys don't have to see it, because I'm cutting it out. Alright, our maneuver node is in 3 minutes. I think that's plenty close. I'm tired of waiting. So, I'm going to go ahead and remove that node. And I'm going to position myself in retrograde, which is right here. There we are. And now I'm going to fire up my engines. Also going to go into this mode so I can see. Oh crap, it's going too fast. Alright. So now that you can see, my orbit intersects the planet, which is not a bad thing. I probably won't burn up in the atmosphere, but I don't want to risk it on my first video. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna just get it back above the planet's surface. I want to shoot for about 20 kilometers. Alright, let's see how high that is. 22,000 kilometers. There we are. Say goodbye to that stage. All I did was remove that stage. You didn't miss anything. That's night for you. You can't see crap. But now you can see that my spacecraft is a lot smaller than what it was. I'm gonna cut out some more waiting for you guys. And as we watch the sunrise over one of Kerbin's many great oceans, we pull our UI back and see that we are still 250,000 kilometers above the surface. So I will cut out a little more waiting for you people. So now here we are under 90,000 kilometers above the surface, meaning that it's time for me to start making preparations to get back home. We will be kissing the atmosphere within mere seconds now, so let's go ahead and orient us toward retrograde. Whoa, said that funny. Retrograde. Turning off SAS, because really at this point the atmosphere is going to be doing the rest of the work for me. It's going to be slowing me down, reducing my orbital velocity to where I cannot escape the atmosphere again. And at which point, once it slows me down to below, I think it's like 250 meters a second or so, I can safely deploy my parachutes and land back on Kerbin. So here we are starting to really bite into the atmosphere. As we push in, we're compressing that air in front of us, getting it really, really hot. This is the point where most astronauts fear that they're going to burn up, but not our Kerbins, not Jebediah. So we're still going over 2 kilometers a second. We need to get that down to, under 300 meters a second. So we got quite a bit of a ways, but we're still 40,000 meters in the sky. And it looks like we will be touching down in the desert, if not just past it, which I don't see a problem with. Kerbins don't really need that much water to survive. I would imagine not much more than humans do. Now we're reaching 2 kilometers a second, and we're slowing down very, very nicely. I do not believe we're getting too incredibly hot. Alright, things are starting to happen a lot faster now. We're now decelerating at over 2 Gs, which is not very comfortable, but that just means that we're just going to get home a little faster. Now we're under 1 kilometer a second. And that sound right there means that we are getting home. So when that parachute on the bottom left corner turns from red to green, we'll go ahead and deploy. And there it is. That was not it for some reason. And there it is. There it is. Alright, at this point, I would be getting really nervous. Why isn't it low? There we go. I don't know why, but apparently you can't just stage to pull the chute. Work with me, dice. So I had to turn on the UI, which I did not like one bit. But here we can see we are now falling back down at a measly 5 to 6 meters a second. Going to be hitting the side of this mountain, which mountains are known to destroy spacecraft in this game. So let's see if our Kerbal survives. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the first successful orbit around Kerbin on my PS4, and Jebediah seems so excited. Let's get him. EVA. And there's Jebediah being the first to land on this barren wasteland known as Kerbin. I don't know how to work him. Okay, there we go. I was going to originally EVA him in space, but I knew for sure I would never get back into my capsule. So I decided against it. Well, that is it for today's episode. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. I really like this game a lot. I think as soon as I get used to the controls, it'll make a lot more sense on PS4, but this game makes so much sense to me on PC. There's so much for you to do in this game. There's a career mode, there's a sandbox mode, you can build space stations, you can build moon stations, you can build interplanetary stations, you can go to other planets. The planets in this solar system mimic various planets like Venus, though it's purple, and Mars, and I mean, I can make tutorials, I can make pretty much anything you guys want. But yeah, that's it for this episode of Kerbal Space Program. Do leave me a comment and a like if you want to see more for the PS4 for Kerbal Space Program. Thank you and have a good one.